Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, he's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't
Hello to your
Okay, I don't think you guys could hear me. So let me repeat a few things that I was saying. Again, if you want to join the conversation, you can call the number on the screen, 813-816-1813, right? You can comment in the comment section, or you can click the button to join live. There's a link in the comment section that which you can use. I do have a book coming out, as I said, Command Respect from the Woman You Want. That'll be coming out in the next few weeks. I have the book for women, Girl Go Get Your Husband, and a book for teenage girls, Boy Bye. That'll be coming out in the spring. So I think my mic was not clearing up. So now it is available for you guys to hear. So again, I am a relationship and femininity coach. My goal is to help both men and women get in a relationship that's best for them. And we're going to talk about this kind of attitude, this mindset that a lot of women are having, those who have children. They believe that, hey, mama gotta live too. Mama need love too. Mama got needs too. And we're going to talk about this because I think it's extremely important in the vetting process. When you're vetting, the goal is to find people who are going to meet a certain level of standard. And standard, a lot of people confuse preference and standards. Standards are things that how you view the world, how you live your life. These are your values. These are your belief system. And you want to have someone who have high standards, right? You can't just have high standards for someone else, but not for yourself. You need to have standards. And then that person is also going to have standards. And both of you guys make sure you meet each other's standards. So you can't request high standards and you don't have them yourself. So we're going to talk about this type of mindset here. And this is a show called Kendra G Singles Online. It's where people can go on social media, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Facebook. I think she posts it on YouTube, but it's either Facebook or Instagram. And you go on the show if you're looking for a relationship, and you pretty much answer some questions about what you're looking for in a partner, a little bit about yourself. And at the end of that little snippet, then they tell you, then the person who's interested will reach out to you via that social media. And I'm going to talk about this because there's a lot of interesting people that come into her show. But this particular person has a mindset that I feel like a lot of women have. Mama needs love, all right? So let's take a look. I sped it up. It's a 24-minute clip, but I reduced it to 1 minute, sped it up, and we're only going to talk about the important parts. So here we go.
Kids. 20 months, 9 months, 6 years old, 13 and 16.
Does a 20-month and a 9-month have the same father?
Yeah.
Why are you not with him?
We're just co-parenting. He has anger issues and other personal issues, and I choose not to subject myself with that.
All right. So again, I sped it up. So she mentioned, as you can see where her name is. She already mentioned what her name was earlier. I just clipped it and sped it up. She mentioned she has these various amount of children, and she said that she chose not to be with the child's father of the last two because of his anger issues. A lot of times we are getting with people, opening our legs to people that we don't even consider valuable to us. We consider them as dead weight for whatever reason, right? Maybe they are not holding up their end of the deal. They're not the man they need to be. Vice versa. If you're a man, you can flip this. We're with people and they're not meeting the standards that we think that we should have in this type of relationship, but we're having babies with them. And a lot of times we think, well, marriage is more important, right? But actually children hold more weight as far as a level of commitment. So a lot of people are afraid to get married because they don't want that commitment, but children is a big commitment. You don't want to have children with anyone. So the first thing is in the vetting process is you want to be careful of who you have children with. And obviously it didn't matter as much to her because she had a second child with this man. You can't have a child. And a lot of times we like to blame men. Okay, he's this, he's that, he's Debbie, he's this, that, but that's your baby daddy. You chose him. Right? We can't choose someone and then they are how they are and then we're upset. You knew that going into this. Most likely these people revealed their true selves. Their representative only lasted a few weeks, but we still stayed with them. Right? We still stayed with them months after we saw them revealing their true selves. Years. A lot of times people try to pretend like people were just great and then all of a sudden they just went Jekyll and Hyde on you. No, they were already like that. Right? And then this is about the tolerating thing. So we're going to move it along here. And again, this is not to disparage anyone who just has children. This is about making sure you're with the right person that you have children with. You definitely want to be with someone. If they're not trying to give you their last name, why you having children and give your child their last name? My children aren't getting a last name if you don't think I'm worthy of it. Right? And so let's keep going.
Other than that, right now, I'm just trying to take one day at a time because Um, I had 3 heart attacks and 1 stroke after I had my last baby, which is a 9.5-month-old. And so even though I could like get money, I can't really physically get money and leave the house as much. Basically, I just learned how to walk all over again 4 months ago, but I walk very slowly. Like for example, from my house to my mailbox, from my house to the trash can, and I really can't do anything too much else besides door to door transportation. I get all my toiletries and my groceries, like delivery service. And I just started physical therapy a couple weeks ago, and it's a challenge because it makes the pain worse. But for the most part, I'm able to do everything else that normal people can do outside of walking short distances. And I can only stand up 6 minutes at a time, and I can sit down for at least 15 minutes at a time. But 75% of the time, I'm laying in the bed. I'm living life, and life is.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop right there. Why you trying to get a man? Like, okay, let me back up. If you have young children, I truly believe if you have young children, especially if they're under like 5, I would even go further, a little bit like under 10. But especially if your children are under 5, and she mentioned that she has like a 9-month, a 20-month-old, and a 6-year-old, and then the other two are 13 and 16. If you have young children, especially those who are not able to fully articulate a lot of things, I don't think you should bring a man into the home, like a brand new man. If it's not their father, I think I'm really leery of that, because I think you should focus on your children. And then, given the fact that you have all these health issues going on, why are you looking for a man? I think you should focus on your health. You should focus on your children. Being their mom, you just had a baby, and you just finished saying that you're no longer with their father. And if he has anger issues and obviously must be causing some type of emotional stress from the type of anger issues, cause you some type of trauma in that way, why are you trying to jump back into a new relationship? A lot of times we think, oh, we got needs and we got to live, because she's expressed those things about she has a sex drive and she wants to get out. Focus on your health. Focus on your children. But a lot of times we neglect our children, and we looking for a man. Like, I'm all about femininity. I think I advocate for men. But why do we think that men are that important that we can just dismiss our children? Our children are important. Whether you're married or not, your children are still important. And given this age, it takes a lot of time. And I'm saying, I have a 2-year-old and I have a 4-year-old, right? It's just turned 4. And I have an 8-year-old. They are a lot of work. The time it takes because we can't just rely on daycare and school. It takes a lot of time and energy to get them where they need to be educationally, helping them with social issues. And you are going to need to give them that attention, especially when you have infants. You have one who's barely 2, and you have one who's not even 1. All your attention needs to go to that child, because when you have a partner, he's going to want you to split some of that time. How are you going to do that when you have all these children? Because when the other ones get out of school, they still need your attention. They still have homework. But mama got to live too. Mama needs love too. All right, let's keep going.
Short. I realized I could be dead right now. I could have died from all of that. And the fact that I'm able to walk again and do a lot of different things that most people.
Okay, so back up. This part, Kendra asked her why, similar to what I've asked, what do you think it's a good time for you to date? And she goes, yeah, I could have been dead, so I want to live life up. Yes, you could have been dead, so this is the time to spend all your energy and your time with your children, not to go find a man. Yes, you have the chance now to live life. So pour it into your children, not a man. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're like, well, I want a man too, but I have a small child, forget a man right now. Focus on you, your child, your life. Get yourself together. Let the child be able to articulate before you get out there. Especially given the fact is, if you have infants, if you're pregnant or your child is under 5, you've got to.
And 3 heart attacks can't do. It's like amazing, and I didn't let it stop me. I get help with the kids. The one of them has a registered nurse, where she takes care of her around the clock because.
So you mean to tell me you can't go from door to door? You can't really get up and go around. So you're pretty much either at home on bed rest, or you. She said um, she mentions about ride sharing, so probably like an Uber or a Lyft driver or something. So you can't really do anything besides just drive around in your car or sit down, because you can't get up for a long period of time or sit down for a long period of time. So you're not doing anything besides that. And you have a nurse, but you can't be there for your child. So you're going to go on dates while a nurse is taking care of your child. And I don't know if it's a 20-month-old or a 9-month, but she mentioned complications with her last pregnancy. So I'm assuming it's the 9-month-old. So you have a child who's in critical condition, and you ready to be with a man, but mama need love too. And this is the thing. There is a mindset out here that I need to get mine. That is a level of selfishness. I feel like as a mother, you learn to have patience, you learn to be selfless. But I do think it's selfish for you to want to go out here and date while you have a child who has some type of special needs, either health-wise or otherwise, right? And like any child who has some type of disability, they have some type of issues, or chronic issues, some special needs at the moment in time, and you decide, I'll let someone else take care of that while I go out and date because I need some. That's pretty selfish, and that's not very motherly. Yes. You know, a lot of people say, well, don't shame her. We need to bring back shame. We do, because when you don't bring back shame, people think this is okay. The look on her face, she feels like I'm living life and I need to live it. But live it for your children. You know, this is very frustrating because I'm also a guardian ad litem. And if you guys don't know what that is, this is where parents are not able to care for their children. They're not able to be the guardian they need to be. So the court brings in an advocate, that third party advocate between the parent and DCF, right? You can, and so that's what I am, guardian ad litem. And I'm thinking to myself, this is why we have guardian ad litems, because we have parents that emotionally, mentally, or physically neglect their children. And honey, you're on that verge. You're on that verge. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, don't shame mothers. No, you're not being motherly. You don't need a man. You don't. And your children don't need some random man in your life. They need their mother. That's what they need. And someone needs to tell you that. And Kendra G was sort of kind of trying to tell you that without being, you know, domineering, you know, about it. But that's what you need. You need to be a mom. So yeah, you could have been dead. So now you have the opportunity to live. So live for them. So while that nurse is on around the clock 24/7, you need to be right there by your child's side. That's what you need to do. Not worried about a man, not worried about your sex drive. You need to worry about your children. And you're not the only one. There are people that are out there trying to get their groove back and do all this stuff while their child is at home with, they already don't have a father. And then you say you co-parent, but she mentioned that you mentioned the children live with you. So they're not back and forth. I feel like even if the father was just back and forth with them and y'all shared 50% of the time, I think all your time need to be on you getting healthier and getting well, because you mentioned about the heart attacks and the strokes and stuff, and you can barely walk. Where y'all going? What kind of dates y'all doing that you can't go anywhere? So all y'all gonna do is be in the bed doing it. This is just sad. This really is sad. You know, I'm just saying, if I had the opportunity and I got to know you, this is a DCF issue for me. But you know, let's keep going.
She barely survived. She feeds off of a feeding tube, so she stays with a health nurse, and then I get childcare for my other kids, and my older kids are in school, so they're always busy with school and in other places. And I have my own little program that I'm doing. I'm doing my business, my physical therapy. And at the same time, we're all humans. Everyone could use a friend.
Everyone could use a friend. Yeah, everyone can use a friend, and you can use a counselor, a coach, you can use your physical therapist, but a boyfriend is not what you need. Not a boyfriend. And I can and I it really is hard to do this because I appreciate when people can provide some input without cursing people out. And I don't think that that's needed, but I can see now how it's so frustrating for someone on the outside looking in to get frustrated and want to curse someone out and want to be like, what are you doing? And why are you thinking the way you think? But I will say this. I think that someone needs to be direct with you. And what needs to be direct is you need to focus on being a mom and being a healthy mom. So, not a mom who is struggling with walking or standing, but a mom who is able to get the therapy that you need to be healthy and to be able to not be in your physical state that you're in now, and someone who's all in for their children. No man needs to be right now in your mind, not in your thought process. You need to be 100% mom. And you also need healing because the past relationships that you've had, you need to figure out why those relationships went sour. What is it that you overlooked when you're speaking to them? And why is that so important to you? Because I cut the clips, but she mentioned often about she needs someone who's, really good and all the things that she can do. You need someone who can tell you the truth. And the truth is the children need their mom. They need you. They don't need men coming in and out through your life until you can decide which one is the right one. That's what needs to happen. And some of you are all saying, Mom needs love too, but not right now because you don't have the healing right now. You don't. You don't have the mindset right now. And you're not the only one. There are many women that's out right now at the club while grandmama is watching their children. There are women right now out on their booty call when the friend, the cousin, the auntie, the sister is watching their children right now. There are children who call in a whole bunch of men uncle or daddy for a short period of time. Children don't need men coming in and out their lives. And if you're a man listening, you can flip this in reverse because there's a lot of men out there with children, but they keep going from women to women, and your children are seeing this. Do you guys understand? You're planting a seed in your children of what relationships look like and how you value relationships. And for some of you guys, relationships is nothing but lust. It's not even a real bond. It's just hookups. This is sad, but I'm going to leave it at that. I wanted to talk about that. I'm going to have a stream next week, and I'm trying to get some men on here to talk about how they view relationships. If you're a woman and you having your struggles and you want to get on here live and talk about your experiences with relationships with men and the dating pool, we can do that. So you can also email me if you don't want to put it in the comment or the chat, but you want to reach out to me about coming on to the show or anything like that. You can go to Mrs. Danielle DeVita at gmail.com. Mrs. Danielle DeVita at gmail.com. So you can email me if you have questions, you have comments, things you want me to talk about, if you want to come on to the show and we talk about it, right? So, because some of you guys may have a different opinion than me, but I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that this was concerning. This was a video that I thought was very concerning. A lot of people may think it's funny, but it's sad for the children. It's sad. Men, you don't know. Men coming in and out of your life. You don't know what they're doing with these children, sons and daughters. Men are crazy out here too. I talk about that. If y'all don't believe me, watch the video. The video I did about my intuition. It was a recorded video I did about several months ago. Listen to that video. All right, so I do appreciate you guys listening to my content. I do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday. You can check me out on Instagram, TikTok. I have some little shorts there on YouTube as well. So hopefully you guys can learn from this. And if you got some friends that probably need to listen to this video, go ahead and send it to them. All right, y'all take care. Perk 101. So a lot of times women say that you can't afford me. And if you want to be a feminine woman, realize that you are not an escort. And committed relationships ought not to be transactional. As you rest in your femininity and learn your worth, you will realize that the men you are with should see you as invaluable and priceless like no other. And yes, you can have shopping sprees, 5-star dinners, and trips, but those things won't make you different and won't set you apart. Things that are priceless and invaluable, money can't buy. Money can't buy peace in a relationship. Money can't buy your love. Money can't buy your joy, your joyful spirit. It cannot buy your gentleness, kindness, your self-control is in controlling your emotions and how your responses to things, your personality, your attitude or mindset as a whole. If you notice, these are also fruit of the spirit from the Bible, right? If you're looking to be a Proverbs 31 woman, you definitely want to make sure you have these. So if you're having talking points of you can't afford me, realize that these are talking points of a basic chick or a modern woman. You want to be different. So get on your feminine journey today. You can also visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com or visit me on other social media platforms.